Alrighty, we're going to use complementary situation in counting. So the complementary situation is the not, basically. We should remember from probability. In other words, sometimes it's easier to work out, get a total of how many different ways you can do it, ignoring the constraint, then work out the not and subtract it from the total. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to say, okay, we've got 7-letter words. How many 7-letter words can be formed from the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G? And we'll ignore that bit for now. We're going to ignore that bit. So how many 7-letter words can be formed by those letters? Well, that would be 7 factorial. Okay, so that is, we'll go 7-letter words equals 7 factorial. So now we've worked out how many in total there are. Now what we're going to do is work out what the problems are. It says if the two vowels, so A and E, are separated by at least one constant. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work out the ones that don't work. Because if I did that, if I work out separated by at least one constant, I could have A, B, C, D, E would work, or I could have A, B, C, E would work, or I could have A, B, E would work. There's a lot of different combinations. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the not of that. And it says the two vowels must be separated by at least one consonant. So the not of that, the complement of that, would be if those letters were glued together like that. Okay? So what we're going to do is go, okay, let's go orderings of A, E together. Okay, so we can work that out and go, okay, how many of them work like this? Because a lot less combinations of that. So we're going to glue them together. We're going to go, okay, A and E together. How many different ways can A and E be organised? Well, that's 2 factorial. And if we glued them as a group, same as we did in the previous one, you'd have a group of AE, then you'd have B, then you'd have C, you'd have D, you'd have F, and you'd have G. So now we've glued that together and organised it. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways those could be done. So that would be times 6 factorial. So that would give us a grand total of, in fact, we won't even work it out at the moment. We just know that it equals that. If the orderings of A and E together is that. Therefore, 7-letter, it's just from what the question is. So 7-letter words, I will write it down. Words with A, E separated. So we have the total number of words is 7 factorial, and we're going to subtract the ones where A and E are together. And so that would be 2 factorial times 6 factorial. So that is what you're going to do. 7 factorial minus 2 factorial times 6 factorial would give you a grand total of 3,600 different words, 7-letter words, that can be done where there is at least one consonant between it. And so we didn't have to worry about all the different combinations of having a consonant between. We only did the one where they don't have a consonant between and just subtracted that. Makes it a lot easier when you're dealing with those numbers.